Sigurd and Brünhilda. It is 4th century Central Europe. To the south lay the western remnants of the Roman Empire, crumbling into the ruins we know it for today. Out from the vast, barren steppelands of the east come swarms of Huns lashing out randomly as some scourge of God, the Christians say. For several centuries now, out to the blustery northern regions of ice and snow, Gothic peoples have been migrating into Central Europe, and the giant primeval forest Urwald, once constituting the entire landmass of Central Europe, has been getting cut down more and more to make farmlands and for lumber with which to build new towns. It is in a small farming village against the vestigial patch of the ancient primeval forest that our story begins.
There is a boy with no name who never ever speaks. And he does nothing all day but play with himself with a stick in his hand under an ancient tree, seemingly fencing with the air. In the tree there's a coven of ravens who follow him around like a cloud of kicked up sand. Often he is spied upon by a beautiful maiden, Brünhilda, who secretly holds a crush for him. She is attracted to him because he is mysterious, and also because he, like she, is the black sheep of the village. Both of them look very different from the other villagers. His difference is that he looks like a person from far away in the East, Asian, and she looks like a person from far away in the West, Avalon, across the sea, where the fairies come from. His complexion is a dark olive hue, and his hair is raven black, and Brünhilda fancies his eyes as being slick, angled slits, narrow, deep, and cunning, whereas her eyes bubble out vivaciously wide and brown like a baby's. Her hair blazes red as flame, her skin, though, somber pale as milk. None of the other villagers look like that, having farmers' hands and dull brown hair. Brünhilda is a young lady regarded as a witch. She lives on the edge of town, eating from their scraps. The nameless boy is regarded as the village idiot.
Each day, the villagers must slave away in the fields. Winter is coming early, so they have to work extra hard. They fear they will not be able to collect all the harvest in time. To succeed, they need the help of everyone. They resent the taciturn boy. They figure a sacrifice to the gods may postpone the winter. The boy had come to them as a baby, crawling out to the neighboring forest. Perhaps he was sent to them for just such a sacrifice. So one night they hanged the boy from his beloved tree to the chieftain of the gods and goddesses, Odin. The ravens come out of the tree and peck at them, and they flee. The boy goes unconscious, but the ravens peck at the rope and he falls to the ground before he would die. He dreams he meets Odin, who says, "Your name is Sigurd, as your father was Sigurd. Here is his sword." A raven is perched on either shoulder of Odin. The boy awakes to a cacophony of screaming. Thrust into the ground before him is the very sword from his dream. The village is in flames, under attack by the Huns. He picks up the sword and runs into the inferno fearlessly. The Huns' swords are sinister, crooked scimitars. His is long and straight, honest and keen. He beats back the Huns and they begin to flee. He comes to the other side of the inferno. There is a great Hun on a great steed, about to strike Brünhilda to death. He rushes to place himself between her and the great Hun's scimitar and utters his very first word, "No!" He parries the scimitar with his sword, and the scimitar shatters, for the sword is rune-inscribed and divine. The Hun leaps off his horse at the boy, but the boy dodges skillfully, cat-like, and the Hun lands sprawled on the ground. The boy kicks off his helmet and sees that the Hun has a face just like his. The old Hun looks up and cries, "Sigurd, son, don't slay me!" Shocked, The boy steps back and thrusts the sword into the ground. His ravens show up in a buzz of black wings, perching all around him. Brünhilda comes up to Sigurd, puts her arm around him. The pair watch the great Hun and his army flee into the east.
The people